Welcome back to another reaction to Roll Over and Die, episode 3. Now we have defeated the werewolves. The Adventurers Guild master is not happy about that. But we have now a little bit money and are going to get some clothes, I guess. Get a haircut. Okay. Nice.
ありがとうございます。
これ素敵なデザインですよね。
I find it interesting that there's no discrimination against her, really. I just acknowledge she got a outfit as well.
私にはもったいないぐらいです。
違う違う。ミルキットが似合ってるから可愛いと思ったの。それにまだまだこれからだよ。
Are we?
これください。
Okay. I mean, we need some equipment, sure.
これください。
I guess? For cooking? I feel like this is too much. You are adventuring, you are out in the open, you take a pod at best, and that pod is going to do whatever you need it to do. You just need to be able to use it. You can fry in the pot, you can cook, you can steam. You don't need all of these.
これください。これください。
これ全部私
Did we even make that much money? I feel like we didn't.
のために買ったんですか。
そうだよ。
たくさんのお金を使わせてしまいました。
So you bought books for her. She can't read.
私なんかのために。ご主人様。
言ったでしょ。ミルキットが幸せだと私も幸せになる。だから気にしなくていいんだってば。
邪魔だ。奴隷の分際で。
ミルキット、気にしなくていいんだからね。
邪魔だ、どけ。何しやがる。
あれはギルドのデインの仲間。
返せ。それは私のカバンだ。
Okay, there's thieves. I totally forgot that the dean or whatever was like, yeah, check the conspirator list of the slaver. Maybe this is part of this.
誰かあいつらを捕まえてくれ。
ミルキット、荷物を見といて。
はい、わかりました。
さすが呪いの装備。体が軽い。
くそ、あの奴隷女か。
こっちは任せる。
Huh? Okay, to be honest, we have the original party, we have these two girls, okay. I never assumed there would be another girl appearing at all. This is one of the good parts about the opening. The opening doesn't really show much, so you don't know. There could be a new character. It looks like there's a new character coming in. Does she have a cudgel? It is, right? He's going to smash him. Boss. Interesting. Again, because the opening didn't really show much. This could be an interesting surprise.
カセルス？カセルス？
くそ、まだ追ってくれた。
Why are you jumping? it looks goofy. And he, I feel like, is not very fast. Her stats are similar to C rank, D rank. No, D rank was 500. 500 total stats. So she's similar to C rank in stats, and they can run on walls. Where's the fireball going? Did she just slash it apart? I guess. There's a fireball. Why is he unconscious? Is that enough to make someone fall unconscious?
そっちはあなたが成敗してくれたんすね。ありがとうございますっす。
まばゆい光が放たれたかのように白いローブの少女が微笑んでいった。
White robe instantly screams church.
オリジン教の
Church of Origin. Sarah Evelyn. Affinity Light. Total stats 1.k. Okay. I mean, she has lower stats than you. Now, the interesting part is that there are 5 stats. I clearly see 5 on the right side. Now, she has a stat distribution. Meanwhile, our character just has or should have division of stats equally. You were saying you had like 300 in strength, even though you only get like 900 points. 995. But we have 5 stats, so you should have gotten less points in strength. Unless there's a specific way they get distributed. Because she has more stats than you had as you were fighting the werewolf. And her strength is only 301. I'm assuming that is her strength. Whatever it is her highest stat. And still it is lower than what you had. And her stats are not equally distributed as well.
柔道場
Unless our character for some reason only has 3 stats. Which could be. It could also be that the stats that she gets is only distributed between those 3 and not the other 2. Again, just strange. And again, the opening doesn't really show any other character. Corruption Purity.
リーチ・マンキャシーってマンキャシー商店の
本当にありがとうございました。
悪いやつをやっつけるのは修道女として当然の行いっすから。ああ、ほら、セーラーアンビレン、中央区の教会にいるっす。お姉さんは？
She does look somewhat young. Oh my, she is small.
西区で冒険者をやっています。こっちはミルキット。
ご主人様にお仕えしています。
フラムさん、どこかで
Yeah, you probably shouldn't leak your hero name.
名前を聞いたことが
Everyone else can use scan on other people. They could use scan on you as well, or is this a hero ability? But she did also say that maybe Milkid could learn it.
あるような気が。
オラも思ったっす。
気のせいですよ。
お二人にぜひお礼をさせてください。
そんなお礼なんて。
オラも必要ないっす。
それよりこいつらだけど、 多分またやると思いますよ。
そうっすか？ほら
またお菓子のつまみ食いして。
What has this to do with being
ま
spanked?
たお菓子のつまみ食いして。
オラは痛い目にあったら二度としないっす。
セイラちゃん、本当の悪人っていうのは罰を与えられても懲りない。
No, no, they learn. People learn. They just try to not get caught again. Easy.
ものなの。
そうっすか？悲しいっすね。
じゃあとりあえず衛兵を呼ぼうか。
ならオラの知り合い呼んでくるっす。
純粋でいい子だね。
はい。
ところでフラムさん、
はい。
Again, can other people not use scan? Because I feel like the scan would just uncover a lot about her. It would probably show the cursed sword. It would show, potentially, show the cursed sword. It would show that she's the hero. And that she's technically a slave.
冒険者ということですが、よければ私の依頼を受けていただけないでしょうか。
でも
Maybe.
私 F ランクですし。
あの実力で？でしたらなおのこと話を聞いてください。
ギルドを通さずってことは良くない依頼だよね。
お願いします。
でもリーチさんは悪い人には見
I mean, you can hear him out. You can be like, okay, I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to take the job, but tell me what you want. And then we can decide.
えない。話だけなら。
Exactly.
実は妻が病に伏せっていまして。
I am an adventurer, not a doctor.
かつて病気や怪我の治療はクス氏が担っていた。現在は神官や修道女が回復魔法で治す。しかし
神を信じて体力が回復するのを待ちましょう。
I see.
信じれば必ず完治するでしょう。
I see.
魔法が効かない病や毒は存在する。
But instead of telling you, they just tell you to pray harder. One like equals one prayer, kind of thing. There's another show, Otherworldly Doctor or something. I don't believe it's an anime yet. Would probably make a good anime. It's more or less a manga I read where there is magic in the world. The magic is more or less boosting the body to fight against most common sicknesses, but it's not really able to do what modern medicine can do. And he is a doctor in that isekai world where he is trying to help people by operating on them and treating them with modern medicine, which is very fascinating. Similar concept here, where the nuns and so on, their magic doesn't work, so you need to do something else.
その中には薬で治るものもあるが、教会は創造神オリジンの意志に反するとして。
The exact same thing is in the other show as well, where the people that have the healing magic want to control healing. And in this case, you can't make normal medicine anymore because this would undermine the church's strength. So they banned it outright, which is pretty bad.
薬草作りを禁じていた。
薬草に関する文献を調べたところ、キアラリーという薬を使えば治るという記述を発見したんです。
それで私に直接依頼を。
もちろん
I mean, it shouldn't be a problem for her to gather these flowers and bring them to him. He then can make the medicine. But the ingredients, procuring the ingredients is not really a crime. Because the flowers, maybe he wants to make a little garden of these flowers. Who knows?
血は弾みます。
人助けか。ギルドを通さないから手数料を取られないのは好都合だけど、もし教会に嗅ぎつけられたら。
無茶なお願いなのは分かっています。ですが妻は一刻も早く薬を手に入れなければ、もう命が。
わかりました。その依頼受けさせてもらいます。
本当ですか？ありがとうございます。
うえ、こいつらデインの手下だろ。俺らまた恨まれるぞ。
He's gonna be mad at us again. You mean Dane? What the fuck?
悪者に恨まれるのは教会騎士にとって名誉じゃないか。文句を言わずにさっさと片付けよう。
光の輪を操ることを許された聖なるしもべ。
For a moment, I thought they were just letting them go free.
彼らは教会騎士。
But they have a different way to capture them. Okay.
通報あんがとな、セーラ。
やめるっ
じゃあまたな、セーラ。
す。仕事を頑張るっすよ。時にリーチさん、
はい。
もしかして何か悩んでないっすか？具体的には薬草絡みで。
いえ、なぜそう思ったのですか？
以前も似たような表情をした人が同じ悩みを抱えてたんすよ。だからオラが薬草を探してきて渡したんす。
Don't trust it. Don't trust her. Don't trust her.
薬草を渡した？教会の人間なのに？
そんなの関係ないっす。困っている人がいたら助けるの
が聖職者よ、セーラ。
ってマリア姉様に教わったっす。マリア姉様は勇者と一緒に旅をしてるすごい人っす。
マリア。
魔法で救えない人が救えるならどんどん使うべきっす。あ、これ誰にも言わないでくださいっす。聞かれたらお仕置きされるっすから。
Still don't trust her.
ほら、リーチさんを助け
No. She can get the flowers alone. She doesn't need your help for that.
たいんす。教会内部には薬草の本が残ってるっすから役に立てると思うっす。
薬草の本があるんですか？実は。
デインさん、フィルさん。何？グリミーと絡んでるが？くそ、あの奴隷女。
She's gonna be so happy, the secretary, whenever Dean is getting his due and is arrested. I assume she's going to take over the guild and make it something more useful.
そろそろおとなしくしてもらうが。ドルブ、ビートル。
This is the point. If this happened before, all this stuff after I could understand, sending her on a deathly or potentially deathly job, being mad at her. But that happened before this, which didn't really make too much sense. Now you can resent her. Now you can go against her because she more or less is messing with your business. So it makes sense to try to get payback. Hot cream stew.
そうさま。
もういいの？
ごめんなさい。食欲なくて。
Why?
マリア姉様は勇者と一緒に旅をしてるすごい人っす。
ありがとう、マリアちゃん。
これが私の役目ですから。
やめろ。あいつを治癒するだけ魔力の無駄だ。
ごめんなさい。
So you knew from some point on that the glasses guy is against you?
"大丈夫ですか、ご主人様。どこか具合でも悪いのでは?"
昔の仲間のこと思い出してちょっとね。
マリアという方のことですか？
どうして？
その方の名前が出た時、ご主人様の表情が曇ったので。
参ったな。実は私こうなる前は勇者と一緒に旅してたんだ。キリル・スウィーチカって知ってる？
はい。
あとはエターナさんとかガディオさんとか。
戦場では死体が転がってることも多い。身につけているものが上等な装備なら持ち帰るのも珍しくない。だが時としてそいつには怨念が染みついていることがある。呪いの装備というやつだ。
死者の装備のことを教えてくれたのはガディオさんなんだ。
What do you mean? Oh, the dead's equipment. For some reason, my brain replaced dead with cursed equipment. No, dead. Okay. He's totally right. It's not going to help them much. It's better to be used. One part that I find a bit weird. In many other stories, cursed equipment, as he was stating, maybe there's a evil spirit or whatever, but cursed equipment, I feel like should have an upside and a downside. In games, it's more often that way, where okay, this item is giving you a lot of like attack power, whatever, but it is reducing your defense. Makes sense. You have an up and a downside. Additionally, you can't remove it. Is one of the big parts that they like to do. Here, in this world, it seems like a cursed item only has negative effects. The sword reduces all your stats by 995. And if you wield the sword, you get turned into goo. So 2 negative effects, no positives. I do wonder if we ever get to see a cursed equipment that has a positive stat and a negative one. Again, I hope this is going to be brought up again, that she has this whole reversal thing going on, that buffs are going to be detrimental and debuffs are going to be beneficial. I hope we don't ignore the base idea later on.
エターナさんは私より見た目は年下なのにすっごく物知りで。
ムスタルト毒は薬で治せる。
でもクスシは
王国の後ろ盾を得た教会は医療を独占するためにクスシを潰した。しかしその知識や技術が失われたわけではない。私の中に残っている。
So she can solve the issue that Mickey has. So we have an option to heal it. Interesting. Maybe we find the answer in one of the books.
二人とも私にすごく親切にしてくれた。いつかエターナさんにその顔を直してもらおう。エターナさんなら解毒薬を作れるから。
ご主人様、すごい人だったんですね。
全然すごくない。足手まといで邪魔。
You were not, that is one of the big problems. You were not chased out, which I would have been like, okay, understandable. No, you got enslaved by one of your former party members. Or because you wanted to be evil.
だから追い出されて、二度と消えない印まで刻まれて。本当、なんで選ばれ。
Which is, now that I think about it, is one of the most stupidest point ever, because she got this mark because the guy was branding her, Glasses guy. However, this mark is not permanent. The slaver made the mark permanent, meaning you reduce the value of the slave. I never thought about that, but she has less value now because of the mark. Straight up. She went from 100%, hey, we could top tier condition to 80 instantly. Just because you did that. Because you did it on her face as well.
れたのか今でも全くわからない。
ウォーターメテオライト。
And it's also seemingly not a slave mark because she has none. I believe the other slaves didn't have one either on their face. They could have somewhere else on the body. But on the face was a very stupid idea.
ウォーターメテオライト。
I do wonder if the Glasses guy is going to try and sabotage the rest of the party.
Kiryu, ブレイブだ。なぜだ、なぜキリルがブレイブを、勇者の最大の武器を使えなくなってしまったんだ。クラムなどという役に立たないゴミに気を取られてどうする。くだらない干渉など捨てろ。足りねえ、熱が全然足りねえ。俺ら三魔将を熱くできるのはお前らだけだっていう。
I assume this is who we are going to defeat. So she is unable to use her brave power. I mean, it makes sense that she may be devastated by the problem, though, is the show makes the point that she doesn't really know that we got enslaved. So in her viewpoint, she just got sent home, essentially. Which shouldn't bring her into such a bad negative space. If she knew that she got enslaved and most likely is dead, then a lot more understandable. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 of the 3 demons. Additionally, demons are not at war with humans. So we are just fighting for fun, I guess.
何すんだよ、ネイガス。
魔王様に何て言われたか忘れたの？
人間は殺すな。
それじゃあまた会いましょう。平和を壊す勇者パーティーの
Peace destroying heroes.
皆さん。
Wow. Wow, that little bit on the right is trying to hide a lot.
皆さん。
Under the assumption that demons are similar to humans.
おい、途中でやめんのか。
エターナ、君さえ強力な水魔法を扱えていたらこんなこと。
Who's this guy again? Can we throw him out? He did nothing in this fight. He made a little force field. That's it.
にはならなかった。
私のせい。
ジン、やめろ。
魔族なんて全員消えてなくなればいい。
Oh, what is this? Why is she behaving? Here she looks like she wants to say something and then she turns, hey, demon's bad?
魔族なんて全員消えてなくなればいい。
Out of nowhere? This is not even part of the discussion. It's like Jean is like, hey, you suck, mage. Someone else is like, hey, Jean, shut the fuck up. And she's like, our demons need to be destroyed. And it's like, cool story. Let's go back to punching Jean. Maybe. Hopefully. Egg sandwich.
美味しいよこれ。ミルキットってば料理もできたんだね。
お口に合ってよかったです。
ありがとうミルキット。
俺らにも分けてくれてありがとうな。
いえ、ご主人様、昨日あまり召し上がっていなかったので。
I guess we are doing well financially. Sandwich. We have like a million stats. Some milligram stats on the top right.
作りすぎてしまって。
じゃあ俺もう少しもらうわ。
俺ももっと食べたいっす。
ありがとう。
セイラちゃんもありがとうね。おかげでキアラリーの生息場所分かったし。
人助けは聖女
Why can no one here eat?
の仕事っすから。
Understandable. Have a good meal, relaxing time, just fall asleep.
この辺りまで来ると山が高くなってくるんすね。
What is that?
ねえセイラちゃん、その首の後ろのやつって何？
ああ、これっすか？信者の印っす。オラの故郷はオリジン様とは別の神様を信仰してて、両親が熱心な信者だったらしいっす。もう今はないっすけど。
Sure. By demons. Yeah, sure. Definitely not by the church. They wouldn't do that.
魔族に滅ぼされて。8年も前のことで、オラは滅ぼされて。8年も前のことで、オラは2歳だったんで全然覚えてないっすけど。マリア姉様の村も魔族に滅ぼされたそうっす。だからオラのことを可愛がってくれたのかもしれないっすね。
魔族を前にすると様子がおかしかったのは故郷を滅ぼされた恨みからか。
Fair enough, fair enough. Totally understandable. You got your home destroyed, probably lost a lot of loved ones, a lot of friends. So, understandable that you hate them. It was just a little bit out of place that it came out of nowhere. And not really helping the situation. They know they can't defeat these demons, so they need to find a way to do that. And you can't really trust only one character. Everyone needs to add something to that win. You never know which of the abilities is going to be able to deliver a killing blow. Or whenever the rill is going to be knocked out, you need someone else to be able to do that.
今でも魔族は人間の領地に来ては破壊を繰り返してるっす。
人間の領地に？
表には伏せられ。
This looks like a slave crest. It was just, you know, looks very similar. It has like a dot between. It's more or less a flipped one. In some cases, in some areas, but it looks very similar to her symbol she got on her cheek.
表には伏せられてるっすけど、田舎の方では潰された町がいくつかあるっす。幸い死者は出てないみたいっすけど、絶対に許せないっす。ほら、魔族を見つけたら必ず。
Interesting. She's saying demons are attacking towns and more or less eradicating towns. No deaths, because the Demon King told them to not kill anyone. Again, there's some kind of truce between the Demon King and the humans. And I could see the church having eradicated some of these towns, especially her town, because she believed in some other, or her town believed in some other deity. So it makes sense that the church is willing to eradicate their town. Now, that doesn't mean Maria's town got the same treatment. She seems old enough, so she may have been old enough to remember that the demons attacked her town. So it's a little bit weird. Demon King is saying don't kill anyone, but villages are supposedly disappearing, but no one is dying. A little bit weird.
魔族を見つけたら必ず倒してみせるっす。
橋を渡ってるってことはもうすぐエニチーデだ。
息子から聞いたよ。こんな田舎まで宣教だなんてご苦労なことだね。
さあ、入って。
Straight up, who's this? I have no idea who this is. I believe we saw him once. But this is not the guy that gave us the job.
お邪魔します。
はい、宣教に来たっす。
数日お世話になります。薬草を取りに来たことは秘密だ。
Mashed potatoes, perge miniere, parfait, freshwater fish fry, fritters, bamboo and cabbage stir fry, pepper and sprout. That is a pretty lavish meal, I would say. By the way, we started more or less the episode with Dean being like, hey, it's time to cut them down, or to cut her down a little bit. And now we are outside, traveling away. I am assuming they are not able to keep up with her, to try to do whatever. I assumed something would happen whenever she went to sleep, but I guess this is going to come back later? Oh. I could see them finding out that she got the flowers and they then go to the church and tell on them, kind of thing, or situation. Why are there plushies?
もちろん。
ほら、ミルキットもおいで。
ご主人様、これにはどんな意味が？
ふっかふかのベッドを見たら飛び込みたくなるじゃない？
なるっす。よくわかりません。
How did they keep up? They were in the carriage, traveling the whole time. These two guys were on foot. How did they keep up? They couldn't, I mean, they could have gotten in their own carriage, but the problem is then they would be visible. It would not be very sneaky. They could have been on foot, but then they would be too slow and they would be exhausted. They could have been on horses. That is the only sensible way. Or they could have gotten here before them and waited. They got on an early carriage and more or less prepared an ambush, but for that they need to know that she wanted to go here. So a lot of questions, why, how, why. Why do we not know?
翌日、私とセイラちゃんは村から1時間ほどの洞窟に向かった。ミルキッドはお留守番だ。
化け物？どうせそこいらのモンスターだろ
う。でも見た人間は全員死んじまうって話だよ。そんな恐ろしいのが洞窟を徘徊しているなんてね。薬草目当ての冒険者が何組か出かけていったけど、誰も帰ってこないんだよ。
It would be nice if you didn't say that while people are out in that area.
ご主人様。
あれは
スキャン。
She's scanning. Church lady scanning. So she can scan. She never scanned our girl, I guess. We have the stats again, and we still have 5 different stats. I assume that is intelligence. I can't really read those. I mean, essentially, it seems like there are 3 stats and 2 additional stats. The top 3 is a 9, 608, and 623 are seemingly the real stats. They have this little symbol after the first kanji, which is potentially stats. And down below are some other stuff, additional things. I don't know for what.
オーガね。それじゃセイラちゃん、行くよ。
おっす。
That was pretty easy, okay?
反転っすか？
うん。呪いの装備を使えるようになるくらいしか恩恵はない。
Yeah, you do know that this is pretty broken, mostly because cursed equipment doesn't seem to have any upsides. So there's no really a reason for people to ever want cursed equipment unless they just want to get as much equipment as possible as someone as a collector. Other than that, there's no competition. You can get all the cursed equipment you want, probably for cheap, and no one is going to interfere. If they had some positive effect to the negative, then it would become more difficult. Because then, under specific circumstances, people could decide to use these items. As an example, staff that reduces your strength but increases your intelligence could be something a caster could use.
これはまるで洞窟の内庭っすね。
So this is clearly a trap. I feel like it could be like a dragon horde. It could be that this hill is maybe like a turtle. But this clearly is too pristine. Someone is protecting this area.
でも、これなら納得だね。
これだけ薬草が生えてたら、昔はそりゃ賑わってたっすよね。
よし、探そうキアラリー。
絶対に見つけるっす。
で、キアラリーってどれ？
キアラリーは青い花っす。
青い花ね。どうして？あいつら。
帰り道が。
デインの仲間。
なんでそんなのがここにいるっすか？
まさかこの間の復讐。
They are inside the area though. So they are trapped in here
まさかこの
as
間の
well?
復讐。
ありえるっす。デインって西区のゴロつきをまとめてる悪いやつっすよね。オラがこの手でさばいてみせるっす。
What is going on? So they destroyed the entrance. Understandable, so they can't get out. But they're visible here. Which is like, okay, so they are inside? Seemingly not. So there is a gap where you can still exit. There's no second explosion, nothing. This doesn't really make much sense.
ほら、変なこと言ったっすか？
元気出た。
Additionally, why would you do this? You are just hoping there's no other exit or entrance, that she's going to starve at some point. This is very haphazardly, it feels like.
ありがとうセイラちゃん。
礼を言うのは早いっす。まずここから脱出しないと。オーガ、スネ。
違う。あれは。
そのオーガには顔がなかった。代わりに螺旋が。
So another vortex, similar to the wolf, so a chimera.
渦巻いていた。脈打つようにうごめき、時計回りにゆっくりと回転する螺旋が。
なんすかあれ？
スキャン。
Found you. Infinity, why do you run from me? Strength 7 sin, magic pay. Stamina fade, love 9 dead. Only salvation. Die. Pay for your sin. Right, this is what the other one was saying, but who? Who is doing this? Because the only one that is really aggressive against her is the glasses guy. And I don't assume that he took his time to prepare enemies for Flum.
で、お姉さんの名前が？
わからない。でも。
This also means that these two are connected somehow, the werewolf and this ogre. So there's someone, some higher being trying to get rid of her, of Flum. And they are able to interfere with the monsters. They are able to modify them, turn them into chimera, and send them after her. I mean, this just looks weird. Her left arm got ripped off, but her left arm is around the nun, so she should have been injured, but she didn't. The right arm would have made more sense in that moment, but sure. Never mind, it's a leg. Never mind, I take everything back. Ignore me. Totally makes sense. That is why it looks like that. My fault. I'm sorry. I take everything back. Totally makes sense. Everything fine. I do wonder what happens here. Oh. So my assumption is if she gets healed, then the wound would be closed. Would the sword then still activate and replace the leg or not? Second, because she's healing, she's increasing her hit points essentially. But because of reverse, this should, in theory, hurt her. Right? I assume it hurt her? Okay. I assume. Now then the question would be why is magic hurting her? But in that case, the magic is not really increasing or reducing her health. It is more or less removing limbs, which in turn removes her health. So maybe that doesn't get reversed. It seems like the reversal is more for specific parts. So whenever something is targeted at her, you get reversed, maybe? What? I mean, she does have some pretty high stats, similar to like a C rank. Not that she's weak. But the leg should already be healed, shouldn't it? Or maybe it is because of the heals. The heal is interfering with her sword's ability.
もう大丈夫。
足が
これが反転の力。それじゃあ行くよ。
I mean, it's not really what reverse it does. It's more your sword with reverse it.
分かったっす。
攻撃が通じてない。このままじゃ勝てない。
どうしてですか？
出口も塞がれてる。
Yeah, but there are other exits, so one of them is going to lead outside.
とりあえず今は逃げるしかない。
え、この穴っすか？
どうせ他に逃げ場所なんてないんだから。行こう。
What a strange way to end, okay? I mean, animation was not too great. He is fighting with some kind of purple magic thingy. I like the main concept. The whole reversal part, cursed items. I like that quite a bit. It seems like the glasses guy is our big bad we want to get rid of. There seems to be a little bit more going on behind the scenes with the church and humans against demons. They have a truce, but they are still somehow fighting. Villages supposedly disappear, but people don't die, which would align with the demons, but I don't believe that as much. I mean, it's fine. Maybe later on it gets a little bit better. It's on the cusp of being solid. It has some good parts going for it, but some parts I feel like are dragging the show down a bit. Which is sad, because I feel like there's some potential here. But we will see. We will see what the future episodes bring.